I have the Chairman, House Committee on Budget and Economic Planning, Honorable Gbolahan Yishawu. He's also the immediate past chairman of this document, the Appropriation Bill for 2020 and Lagos Budget. Thank you very much for your time.
Good afternoon.
Compliments of the
Lagos.
season.
Same to you. Happy New Year.
Yes, I wish you the same. Let's start this way. 1.168 trillion. I look at this as being, looks like a tall order. Where are we getting funds from for Lagos to fund this budget?
But I don't think it's a tall order. It's achievable. Lagos has attempted a 1 trillion naira budget before, but it didn't work out. But this time we believe it's going to work out. We have 1.168 trillion in this case, and I believe the government will be able to achieve it.
Budget is like a New Year present to Lagosians. I'm looking at the now 62% capital expenditure, 38% for recurrent expenditure. Can we break this
It's
down?
actually 61%.
Oh, 61.
For capital,
Wow.
while
Wow.
the recurrent is 39%.
That'll be 39.
Yes, the capital expenditure is 711,
Okay.
while the recurrent expenditure is 457, if I'm correct.
A lot of figures all around.
This
this is a sure one from you.
Yes. And some money is put in education. You know, education is very key. The highest budget budgetary allocation went to works and infrastructure.
Wow.
I think they have about 133 billion. Education has about 127 billion. Then you have health as I think the third highest budget. Don't quote me on that, but they have about 105 billion to them. So transport has a large amount as well. But you know, like the executive has the team's agenda. You must remember that the House of Assembly practically moderates the budget. The budget is actually created by the executive, you understand. So the team's agenda of the governor, Mr. Governor, is which is transport, health, education, 21st century Lagos, security, and environment. All the various aspects of that agenda was touched within the budget. He called it the budget of reawakening, and we strongly believe that this is possible. Initially, when it was brought, we thought, would you be able to achieve it? But after scrutinizing it, and of course, we did do a lot of scrutiny, we believe it can be done. The revenue generating agencies, which are the biggest, is the LIRS, followed by Lagos State Planning Permit Authority, LASPA, and lands. If they're able to deliver, you know, they will definitely meet this budget. And His Excellency has assured that he was going to back them up with all the tools and equipment.
We're going to strengthen them, these agencies.
Yes, to ensure that all the tools and equipment that they require in achieving this budget is given to them. However, it's not going to translate into Lagosians having tax increase. What will probably happen is activities will get to areas that has so far not been reached, you understand. For instance, LRS is expected to launch this year, according to them, instrumental payment of taxes. So that would encourage people in the informal sector to even come into the tax net, you understand. So ways of rounding the edges of these activities to ensure there's an improved collection, not taxing people more, improved collection, you understand. So people that have not been paying their taxes will be brought into the tax net, you understand. It's believed that we have about 8 million people within Lagos that's taxable. And yet, so far, we still have less than 3 million, 2.5 million in the tax net. So if you can grow the net, you understand. Over 2 million buildings in Lagos, the planning authority would want to cover more ground. So these are the activities that would show up the collection of the state so that we can do things within the economy. And the infrastructural expenditure, which is key, people can move around more. We improve governance, we improve economic activities within the state, and that will also translate to prosperity for the people, then translate to prosperity for the state. So Lagos is working on a model of the prosperity of the people will jive with the prosperity of government.
It was been a smart city. It's no more a mega city thing now. It's now a smart city thing.
Yeah,
really
smart city. You have everything is IT. You understand? You use IT to create convenience, ease of doing business. And Lagos as a smart city, the cameras, according to His Excellency, cameras should come in this year to support security. Security is key in those kind of environment. And things will be done about the bandwidth as well, availability of data to do better business within the state. We could start with we funded last year the campus, which is for the government itself to improve its service delivery to the people, you understand. So from there, the services will extend to the general public. So I think we will get there.
Because it's
we're
on course.
We're on path, we're on the right path.
Let's look at budget implementation for some time now. How has it been? How well have we implemented previous budgets, and what do we expect in implementation for this one? This is starting January, December cycle, looking very good.
Well, for me, budget implementation has always been, I feel it's doable. Lagos State has done 91%, 89% in the past, as far back as 2013, thereabout, I think, 2014 maybe, 2015, 80, 82, going down in 2016, it kept coming down. So with this new administration in place, I believe we'll be able to ramp it up again, you understand? What is budget implementation? The first leg of it is to bring the money in. The next leg is to spend it. The government will not, I doubt if any government would have money and will not implement the budget. So it's the revenue part of the budget that is key. Like my speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, said during the signing with the government, the revenue is the key part of it. If there is no money, then the budget will not be implemented. But as we start now, there's late last year we gave approval for a bond of 100 billion and 150 billion naira loan. Apparently, you can see the bonds are still coming in, you understand. So there's fund to kickstart this new year. So this government has started working as at yesterday. So it's not like you're just waiting for the collection of this year to come. So there's fund on ground for them to ramp up their activity. So it's work in progress, as we all call it.
There'll be lots of work going on in Lagos. I'm looking at Lagos almost becoming a construction site. Both federal and state governments, by the time we start implementing this, I see what's happening on Lagos Badagry Expressway, as what's happening on Appropriation Expressway, the road that leads to the ports. I see all of this. So what are we expecting when it comes to infrastructure in this budget? What are some new things we should look at?
The trust of this government is actually to finish existing projects.
Wow, that's a good
Because
one.
you see, when you leave projects uncompleted, it becomes wasted assets.
Yes.
You understand? They're wasting assets. So it's very key for the government to finish whatever is on ground. Like the governor said, you finish the Agege Cinema Bridge. I know they're working very fast on that. There's the Yishawu Road. Roads scattered all over Badagry, Korodu, even Ibejuleke axis of the state. So, and this could happen because of funding. You understand? And like I said, when the revenue comes in, this government is committed to giving the to deliver democratic dividend to the people of Lagos State. So let's just move on to ensure that the money comes in. That's it. On our part as legislators, we just oversight. We use oversight
I wanted to say
to
that
monitor.
because it's very important.
Yes, we use oversight. My colleagues, well grounded in the various fields, the various committees they are chairing, would ensure that they go on the field doing their oversight to make sure that the job is done as the budget, as stated in the budget. You know, the budget is a charge to work, is the estimate, is the Bible, the Quran for the government for the next 12 years. So we would ensure that whatever is written there is implemented, both on the revenue and the expenditure side of the budget. And that's our part, and that is what we're going to do for the next.
And this also has a
months.
minimum wage carried already into it's factored in. So workers should just smile to the bank and they should expect payment of the minimum wage or what
As you know, Mr. Governor announced 35,000 naira minimum wage, and I think they've already started paying.
Wow.
Paying it. I think they paid it in December. I didn't earn it. You know, we are unconsolidated, but I know that the civil servants have already earned it, and that was factored into the budget as well. It's part of the reasons why the budget size went up a bit to the amount that we have, which is the 457 billion. But it's good, it's important, because you need to motivate the workers. You need to motivate the civil service, because they are the bedrock, they're the backbone of whatever government does. You know, they say, soldier come, barrack remain. They are the barracks in this case. They're always there. We come, politicians, elected appointees, we go away. So we need to keep them motivated so that they can join us in the march towards giving us a greater Lagos as His Excellency.
We're still going to stay a little on this. The governor just talked about it. 22 million Lagosians. Yes. It's not easy. Yes. Tell us about policies. What more policies are we looking at? Making the environment more conducive for business people. You know, you've talked about increasing those in the tax net. What more are we looking at policies? And as the lawmakers too, what are these laws that we should expect that will make life more easy and meaningful for us as Lagosians?
Okay, let me start with the laws that you'll expect. The land use charge has been a thorn in our flesh, wow, and we've done something about it in the very closing stages of it, and I'm sure this month, like Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa said, we should get that bill back to the executive for assent, and it's up and running. We've re-engineered it to ensure that Lagosians get the best out of it. So that's one part of it. On the other part, what is excellent, I keep saying what the executives are, because they made the budget, and we are also expected from them, although we believe in what they have actually put in the budget because we scrutinize, so we're on the same page. So the transport sector is something that has been done. You heard him talk about 60 roundabouts across the state that they would ensure they signalize. You see, part of the reason why they're doing this is because the roundabout rules is rarely obeyed, so it becomes a gridlock. So by signalizing them, there's more control and ease of traffic there. He talked about the waterways. We are investing more money. We gave provision for purchase of boats, not the imported boats in this case, locally made boats. Fine, well done. They've inspected the factories, so it's local content, you understand. You didn't need to close the border for us to get that to happen, but it's been done locally, you understand. We know that Nigerians are producing boats, Lagosians are producing boats. So he's doing something about that to increase the transportation on the waterways. It's like expanding or trying to get the multimodal transport system into place. So he also talked about the rail line. The Blue Line has been poorly funded in the last 4 years back, you understand. So he's doing something about that. He's promised that between mile 12 and Marina will be delivered by end of 2021, which we believe it's a great thing. We've talked about the Red Line, which is integrating what the federal government is bringing all the way from Abeokuta. So we'll bring it all the way down to Ebutemeta, Oyingbo area. So you're taking vehicles off the road, you understand, improving. That's what we call mass transit. This is mass transit, which is the rail line, you understand. So things are going on in those areas. In the area of health, remember when the Commissioner for Health was briefing us, the PHC, as they call them, primary health care centers, you understand, they are going into partnership with private sector to ensure that these PHCs give the services that they're supposed to give so that they can tap into the Lagos State health insurance program where indigent Lagosians are paid for, you understand. So something is happening on the side of the health as well. And I know for the educational system where of course, we must tell ourselves the truth. The structures in our schools are not the best as it stands. I think His Excellency has revamped the script program, school rehabilitation program. Quite some billions of naira was put in that area as well so that we do something about the quality of our schools. And so he touched education, touched on environment. Even in environment, Loma got a lot of funding to ensure that advocacy, enlightenment of the populace is wrapped up so that people can get back to what it used to be. Clearing dump sites are being equipped to, there's funding for dump sites so that they can have equipment to be able to give fast turnaround time to vehicles that are dumping there. So he had tried to touch the various sectors of the economy, security, as he has promised. And I believe this budget is definitely geared towards that. We should keep our fingers crossed. We at the House of Assembly, under the leadership of Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, would play our part in oversight and ensure that this budget is delivered at least up to 80%, possibly 90% this year.
Very interestingly, they're well put out. Thank you so much. But before you go, message to Lagosians. It's a new year, and they're expecting a lot from government. Yes, we also have our roles to play, paying our taxes, maintaining law and order, and all of that. They want to hear from someone like you. Tell them what more should they, what should be the focus? It's 2020. What's the message to them?
Well, our first pitch is on, you play your part, we play our part. You pay taxes where you need to pay taxes. Be law-abiding where you need to be law-abiding. You need to be law-abiding all the time, and we'll play our part as the oversight function over the executive to ensure judicious expenditure of state funds. Your budget is a good budget. It's a budget of the people, a budget of reawakening as christened by His Excellency. And as he has promised all of us, we're going to have a greater Lagos. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Well, I want to be part of that greater Lagos. Chairman, Economic Planning Budget, Mr. Honorable, I beg your pardon, Gbolahan Yishawu. Thank you very much for your time on the show. It's great to have you start the new year.